Ladies and gentlemen, we are gathered here tonight to witness the most anticipated fight in the dinosaur kingdom. In the left corner, standing at 24 feet tall, with a length of 57 feet, weighing a whopping 9 tons, the biggest, baddest carnivore to ever walk the earth, Spinosaurus! And in the right corner, standing at 20 feet tall, with a length of 43 feet, weighing a hefty 8 tons, the Tyrant Lizard King, Tyrannosaurus Rex! Ever since the infamous fight between the Spinosaurus and the T-Rex in Jurassic Park 3, a fight has been debated many times. And who would win this triumphant battle? Well, that's what we're here to discuss today. Keep one thing in mind about how the dinosaurs were in real life. We have to talk about this in order to decide who would actually win. Spinosaurus. Yes, it is bigger. It is better. It's not only my favorite dinosaur, but Spinosaurus, unfortunately, the way how it lived its life was very different than how T-Rex lived its life. If this was a fight between T-Rex and Carcharodontosaurus, then I probably would have a harder time trying to decide who would win this fight. But it's not. It's T-Rex and Spinosaurus. Spinosaurus, for those of you who don't recall from the first episode that we discussed, Spinosaurus had a very different lifestyle. He was mainly piscivorous, which means that Spinosaurus mainly ate fish and small dinosaurs. Occasionally, it would feast on Carcharodontosaurus corpses. But that was in very rare cases, only if Carcharodontosaurus was a juvenile or it was just very weakened. But not all the time. Spinosaurus was very weak in its bite force. It had a 2-ton bite force, which sounds like a lot, but when you compare it to T-Rex, it really isn't. Spinosaurus has a very extreme, slender, and very elegant body, along with its really stumpy hind limbs. It's very top-heavy, which indicates that on land, Spinosaurus wasn't very mobile. It was very hard for him to walk on land. So he had very restricted movements, and he had a lower muscle mass. Spinosaurus had a huge skull. It had a 6-foot-long skull. The length of my entire being is as long as its entire skull. Its biggest claw was probably about the size of my hand, and I have pretty big hands. And it was narrow, like a modern day crocodile. The teeth were flat and they were conical shaped. They were designed to grab and bleed out fish rather than to rip and tear meat. The teeth were slender and needle-like and had 6 or 7 needle-like teeth on the side of its mouth and on the very front of the upper jaw, and had another 12 teeth behind those. There were also a few large slanted teeth that interlocked at the very end of the snout. While its jaw was powerful, it just wasn't as strong as T-Rex. None of its teeth were serrated, making it unlikely that it could have used them to tear into prey. Hence the crippling ability of crocodiles to break down their food with just their jaws. The sheer size of Spinosaurus is intimidating enough, but add its long and probably heavy tail and its deadly arsenal of 8-foot-long arms and lethal 6 to 8 inch claws that could literally make 2-inch cuts into whatever it was attacking. And even the bravest of dinosaurs would probably run away, like Rugops or Carcharodontosaurus, but Rugops was a runt compared to those two. However, the claws, the main purpose of the claws was to catch and maintain a grip on the slippery fish that it was hunting. It could deal some serious damage to T-Rex, but it would take many, many swipes from the Spinosaurus's claws just to kill the T-Rex or even do major damage. So, also, Spinosaurus had the disadvantage of having the sail on its back. The sail was connected to its spine, which is a very sensitive area if you're being attacked, because with T-Rex, if it was to do enough damage to it, it would probably either paralyze the Spinosaurus or it would probably end up killing it. That's just how screwed it would be if anything was to touch its sail. Spinosaurus, while on occasion would have to fight other theropod dinosaurs like Carcharodontosaurus, it didn't have nearly as much of a fighting skill as Tyrannosaurus Rex. T-Rex was a colossal fighting machine on land. It had a robust physique and wide frame and thicker, stockier bones, which provided a larger surface area for muscles to latch onto. As resulting in more sturdier and stronger musculature, T-Rex had long legs with a good amount of leverage and mobility to make it more effective in fighting off large theropods. And Quetzalcoatlus when the times that it would try to invade a nest. The T-Rex mainly ate large, sometimes armored dinosaurs, so Tyrannosaurus' teeth could literally crush an ankylosaurid or a ceratopsid armor with brute force. The 6-ton bite force from a T-Rex could make bones literally explode within its grasp, and with the 68-inch teeth lining its 4-foot jaw, it could have easily tear off 100 pounds of flesh. The T-Rex had binocular vision that was 6 times better than humans, with forward-facing eyes, better mobility, and obvious experience in fighting, and the robust muscular physique, a larger brain more devoted to fine-tuned senses, had better teeth, the better bite force, and was far more capable of defending itself against potentially dangerous dinosaurs. The only disadvantage that T-Rex had were its arms and its claws. They were smaller and weaker, but it was also slightly small. It was also slightly smaller than Spinosaurus. Hypothetically, if the T-Rex bites down on the Spinosaurus' skull, considering the fact that the face biting was a common thing back then, the bite could effectively collapse the nasal cavities of Spinosaurus, and the whole skull would end the fight right then and there. The advantages possessed by the Tyrannosaurus Rex are just overwhelming, and they are almost scary in that regard. The only way that I could see Spinosaurus winning a fight between T-Rex is if Spinosaurus had stumbled upon a juvenile T-Rex, the T-Rex was injured, or if it was sick and it looked at T-Rex like a free meal. That would be probably the only that's the best case scenario that I could see Spinosaurus winning. So T-Rex would win in a fight majority of the time. As much as I like Spinosaurus, and as much as I would want to say, yes, Spinosaurus would win all the time, logic and science kind of dictate what I want in this kind of fight. So yes, while T-Rex would win, you T-Rex fanboys can, shut up about it, and Spinosaurus fanboys, it's okay. We'll get ours one day. We already did in that movie. So, but there is no denying that T-Rex would absolutely wreck Spinosaurus in a fight. There's no doubt about it in my mind. These two colossal dinosaurs were beasts of their time, separated by 30 million years and a couple of continents. But if these two were to actually fight in real life, it would be the grandest and most bloody battle that anybody ever witnessed. And I would be right there, watching and cheering for my dinosaur, the Spinosaurus, because the T-Rex may be the king of the dinosaurs, but you guys remember something. Spinosaurus, in my heart, is always the pharaoh.